What's going on, everyone? So we're back for another one. Last video I introduced the Mini I bought, so yeah, here it is. We've got the new discs and pads for the rear, because at the minute the disc and pads are low on the rear, but we haven't got no handbrake. So I think what we're going to do is we'll change the rear discs and the pads. We'll change the rear disc and the pads on the car, and then we'll give it a go of adjusting the handbrake. Hopefully the cables are not shot, but hopefully we can just put the new disc and pads in, because they're very low, and then it might bite, the handbrake might bite in the end, and then we just adjust it a bit. Exhaust gasket, I was going to get one, but they didn't have one in stock at Euros, so I have to order that offline. But I may try and fix it, because the gasket might be fine. It might just need a bit of exhaust paste on it with the gasket, or even the bolts. The bolts may have come unloose, or they may be rusty and they've just deteriorated to loosen the joint. So if it comes to it, I may cut the bolts out today, head to B&Q, get some nut and bolts. That's all they are, just nut and bolts. Reseal the gasket, tighten it back up, touch wood. It works. So yeah, let's crack straight on. I'm going to jack the car up, take the wheel off. I need to try and find a lockable nut key, which hopefully I can find. I've not actually looked for it. Just took all the wheel off, checked the rear pads. The rear pads look decent. There's no lip on the disc. There's half a pad left, but the handbrake isn't engaging. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the center console out and see if we can adjust it. There's one adjustment literally under the handbrake, which is right there, but I don't think it's that one. There's another adjustment behind the armrest, sort of the center console. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip out the center console to see if we can see the cables more there, because there's a tiny bit of bite, but there's nothing, so it needs to be adjusted. So let's see if we can do that. If not, it's probably going to need some new cables. What I'm thinking is if you look here, this is the back of the caliper. It's locking it, so when I pull the handbrake it's pulling it down, but it's not coming back up, and it seems like this is all really tight. So what I'm going to do is I've just been to Halfords, I bought some grease, so I'm just going to try and grease it up, pull it, and then just try and keep moving it, and then see if I can get it to free up. Hopefully it does. So let's give that. We managed to free this one up completely, so this is all freed up now. It's bouncing back. It was getting seized, so what I done was pop the rubber seal up. I'll clip that back in, but popped it up, sprayed some grease in there, put some vice grips on here, kept on pushing it in, pulling it out, spraying a bit more, pushing in, pulling out, pulling, and then until it got really free. So at the minute it's pretty free. So I'm going to do the other side, because it all goes from two cables down into one to the handbrake. So at the minute the little mount where the two cables come in, so the left side is springing back, the right side is staying up, so the mount's like that. So hopefully if we free up the driver's side, the mount should come back straight, and then we'll be able to adjust it properly in there, and then hopefully, touch wood, it all works. So I'll show you a little bit. So look, you can see there, look, it's seized up. As soon as I push on this, I can push it straight back up. That's what we need to try and unfree here. So let me crack on with that. I'm going to try and free this off, clean it up. Hopefully we'll have a rear handbrake again. We managed to free them up, so the handbrake is working how it should. It's bobbing back down and all that. We've freed it all up. So what I'm doing now, I'm just putting the wheels back on. Now I'm just going to test the handbrake, see if it needs any adjusting. Hopefully it doesn't, but it don't matter. We stripped out the whole centre bit anyway. So yeah, so it's all greased up. It's all freely now. It's not all binding up. So that's one successful job. I think the next job, which I don't know if it'll be in this video, will be the exhaust gasket on the rear end. I may just wait until that gasket comes, and then I could put it all into the same video. It is about a week later since I filmed the first one. It's been a right pain, to be honest. All the bolts are seized. I had to get an angle grinder, so we got an angle grinder. I've managed to get the back box off. You can see it's all crusty. I caught myself with that thing. But yeah, so we managed to get it off. I've cleaned all that up now. We've got a new gasket to go on there, and I'm just going to put some paste as well. These were an absolute nightmare because they were that rusted. I had to clean them, undo the bolt a bit, do it up, spray some more grease, undo the bolt, do it. It took about an hour just to do them two. Then I had that one there and that one there, but I managed to get them all off. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to slap that up with some paste and put a new gasket in there. Hopefully we should be sweet. But yeah, that was absolutely rusty and it was just horrible. But anyway, I grabbed some nuts and bolts, like the pick and mix from B&Q. So we've got all different sizes, washers, different size nuts, bolts. So we will have two that will fit, so that's all good. Yeah, so let's just crack on. I'm going to clean the rest of that up because you still got some of the old gasket on there. So I'm just going to keep cleaning it with the wire brush on the drill. Make sure that's nice and clean so it seals. It should seal anyway, because they're going to put some exhaust paste as well, just to make sure 100% seals, because these are quite common to leaking. That's what I've heard. They leak quite a bit. So right, yeah, so I had to use the angle grinder a bit because there was a bit of the old metal gasket that basically welded itself to the flange. So yeah, I'm just going to finish off cleaning this up, check if the new gasket fits. It should, and then whack it back in. So it's all back on. We've got new gasket, new nut and bolts. We put some sealant on there as well, just to make sure it's fully sealed. What I've got to do now is put the exhaust hanger mounts here. I've put the mounts in there, so we've just got the exhaust hanger mounts here and that side, so we'll get them whacked in. We're all fully bolted up now. Put all new bolts in there, nut and bolts with washers. Well, not a bolt, new nuts, new washers, all of that's new now, so there's no leak there. Well, we're starting, so that's all up there now. Lined it all up, so it's all set perfectly flush. Nice mill check. To be honest, I was going to take this exhaust off. And put it on the track, the grey track one, but after just trying to strip the, well, not trying, after doing the rear gasket, I think the rest of it would just be an absolute nightmare. If it ever come off, I'd have to replace every Jubilee clip sort of thing, exhaust clamp. They're fine now, they're not leaking, but they're rusty. So I think if it ever did need it to come off, you just have to cut them off and then replace them all. But I suppose I've done most of it. All of this is free. The back box bit's done. The only one you've got to worry about is that one there, which you could just cut straight off and then from the standard cap. But this is the resonated system as well, so I'd love to have had this on my grey one because it'd be ideal for track. It's not too loud. But yeah, right, let's grab the key and then what we'll do is we'll start it, see if it's all sweet. If it isn't, it's going to the scrapyard. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so let's give it. Oh mate, absolutely perfect. No leak under there. It was horrible. It was so horrible before. There was just a gap. I'd say the gap was probably, I don't know, what would you say that is, a mil? Like a complete gap where the gaskets got fully blown out. So that's all done now. The exhaust is running, well, the car's running absolutely perfect. The exhaust sounds sweet. Yeah, it's got some good pressure there, so I'm happy with that. That's all done now. The only annoying thing is this bumper's quite rare, the front and it's the US spec, and I can't get hold of any of these little side markings. This side's perfect, but I don't know how that side got cracked, because there's no damage on the bumper. So I generally, someone could explain that, but yeah. So what I'll probably do in this video as well is we'll just finish off putting the trim back in. It's halfway there, so we'll get all that put back in. Back together now. Handbrake works sweet. So we've got it all back in. It's pretty clean in here. That'll probably be on this video. I'm sorry about the massive sort of break I've had in between. I've just been absolutely flat out with work, waiting on parts, and then trying to sort out the Golf. It's just been a lot. So yeah, I think as soon as this video is going out, I'm going to try and get at least one video out a week. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it. Yeah, so I'll probably do one more video on this, probably when we pull it up for sale. Just got to do a couple little more things, like polish the headlights, tidy it up a bit. It's got proper dusty, so I have to clean it again, but I won't film cleaning because I've already filmed that. But we could probably do a little video on polishing the headlights, how you do it, etc. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See you on the next.